right, and I'll hand it over to Sarah.
I would like to introduce Beth McDonald. She's the Education Director at the ProKansas Recycling Center, and she's going to educate us the way she educates her students today about the history of the center, what they do there, what they accept, and what they do with the materials, how they're financed, and what their education programs are. I really enjoyed meeting Beth, and I actually got to have a tour of the center, which was really inspirational and educational for me, and I really wished I had kids with me when I did that. So I highly recommend taking a tour, and we're looking forward to learning from you today.
Thank you. I appreciate you coming out to hear, and so I will do things differently than I do with regular tours. What I do for the tours is, as the students walk by me to go and sit in the classroom, I have them look at both of my earrings. So since we had that few moments, I thought, oh, what the heck, I'm going to do what you guys do. So, they don't match, and that's what I go about, well, aren't earrings supposed to match? I go, oh, yours match, and I'll look to see, different ones. And so this is how they came. What is this one?
The recycling.
The recycle center. What's this one? Earth. Okay, so my earrings are giving you a message. That message is
Save the earth by recycling.
save the earth by recycling, recycle to help take care of the earth. The only one that I sometimes hear from students is recycle the earth. And I go, oops, oops. So
I could pick some people, but that's me.
So then what I do is go over the 3 R's. What does reduce mean? And I use visuals. I don't just lecture because I'm a visual learner. I'll have people come to the center. Well, Beth, can you take that, a milk jug that's number 2? I said, are you talking plastic? I said, do you happen to have one with you? Yeah, it's in the car. I said, well, can you go get it for me just to make sure? I don't want to say yes or no, it's the reverse. So I do that, reduce and reuse and recycle. I have brought different items to show you things that are made from recycled materials. This one I want to do with you, but we're going to have to turn the fan off to do this because, see, it's affecting the scale. I do this this is the one, I don't do it with kindergarten and first graders, and I'm kind of pushing it with second graders, but I still think it's really cool. And so what I do is I pull this out, and I say, now, is pop good for us? And a lot of the kids will go, yeah, it is. I go, sorry, it's not. How many of us like it? In this case, we're going to talk about the plastic that goes into this. So this one holds, it says 67.6 fluid ounces. I don't like to remember decimals, so am I going to round up or down? Up. So we're going to say this one holds 68 fluid ounces. Okay. Then, these, oh shoot, I pulled up 2 Pepsis. These hold 12 ounces, okay? So how many 12s will it take to get as close as we can to 68 without going over?
It depends.
5 is 60, yeah.
Logically, don't perhaps they'll get any more plastic.
So, I heard the answer of 5. And what I do with the students is have them, I make them do math. 12 plus 12 is 24. 24 plus 12 is 36 plus 12, 48 plus 12.
60.
And if I did another one, I would go over. Okay. But when you go to the store, can you buy a 5-pack?
No.
No. It's a 6-pack or 8-pack. So now this is the part that I really wanted to share with you. I am wondering if I put a Coke one. I want you to show me your answer with your fingers. How many little ones will it take to equal or be heavier than that big one? Show me your answer with your fingers.
You're saying 3, I'm saying 4. That's fine.
Okay, so basically I saw 2, 3, or 4, all right? And so now we'll start with 1.
Wow.
This is why I do it. I love it. I wish I had some.
Very good.
This just blew me away.
Well, because you have the volume, yeah.
There's more plastic in those 2 little ones than that one big one. So obviously it's better to buy the one big one instead of a bunch of little ones. And so I talk with the kids, why do they sell these, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so now I was doing this with a Boy Scout troop one day at the center, and a dad in the back said, "What about Pepsi?" I said, "Okay, I think I know where I can get a Pepsi bottle." So, "12 ounces, 12 ounces. Paper, paper. Extra ring, extra ring. If you think this is going to be lighter than the Coke, thumbs up. If you think it's going to be the same, thumb to the side. If you think it's going to be heavier, thumbs down. Everybody vote."
Logically the same, but it's probably not.
Yeah, probably not, because why would I do it? Okay, I see all 3 guesses. And the dad goes, "Yep, I knew that." Because you have Coke drinkers, you have Pepsi drinkers, you have, I don't care, give me a pop drinkers. And the dad had been drinking it enough years that he noticed when he put it up to his mouth, it wasn't as thick as it used to be. Pepsi took a little bit of plastic out of their bottle, saved them money. Did they pass that savings on to us, the consumers? No. So thanks to that scout back then, I never would have realized to do that part. So I just thought this would be fun. As I say, I'm not going to go through all my different lessons with you guys. I'm going to do more on the history, but I also, before I jump there, what is this made of?
Trex plastic, isn't it? Where's it made of wood?
It's plastic. That's great.
Okay, so again, this is more with students instead of adults, but I'll often will get cardboard. And I go, yes, we do take cardboard at the center, but this is not made out of cardboard. They will guess wood, and I go, no, sorry, we don't take wood at the center, so this isn't made of wood. I heard somebody say plastic. Yes, this is composite decking, made out of the heavier plastic bottles, okay? More expensive than wood, but it will last a lot longer. So you guys, I know, already knew.
You don't have to finish it either.
You have to what?
You don't have to
You don't
finish it.
have to-
No maintenance is what she's saying.
Okay.
Right.
There's no maintenance. Oh, somebody get some plastic sacks.
Take refuge.
So cool.
So what is this made out of?
Plastic bags.
Plastic bags. And I have and I didn't bring the picture tonight, but one of the things that I show the kids on our reduce using less plastic bags, because you see them blowing across the street and caught in the trees and everything.
Yeah.
And I show them a picture that was taken where Chisholm Creek and the Arkansas River come together and the trash there. And so I say, I don't like plastic bags. And then I show them this. You don't like that? I said, well, I do like this. So a teacher friend made this for me out of plastic bags. I'm sorry, I don't know how many. I should have asked her, and it's been too many years, so she won't remember now. But this was back when,
Probably 50 or 60 of them.
uh,
I crochet.
oh, do you? Okay.
There are recipes for this out online. If you are a crochet person,
Yeah.
you can make them.
No, she has a friend.
I don't have time to do it.
Well,
So the pink was DAB bags.
Oh, for
Back-
years ago.
back- Yeah, years ago.
Yeah.
And then the gray is the Kohl's bags.
Oh,
So-
those are sturdy. They're sturdier bags.
Yeah, they are sturdier too, and then,
Thicker.
yes, you do know where that is.
I don't know where to say.
I promise, this is the last thing I'm gonna pass around and have you feel.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this one by Monica, yeah.
Does that mean you know what it is? Every time he feels it, he goes, he's doing this.
Maybe it means he's learning.
Oh, he's learning, okay. So what's this made out of?
Diapers.
Diapers? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
No. We don't take diapers to the center,
Oh.
you know.
Say more class?
That's made of plastic.
It's probably made out of some sort of recycled bottle, because I very vaguely remember seeing a jacket of that sort of material.
So this is made out of plastic bottles,
Yeah.
and the tag on the inside says machine washed cold. And so I asked the students, well, why do I have to wash it in cold?
No.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I say, okay, I'm on the speaker listening. So I wash it in cold and then I throw it in the dryer. And that's what they do. Then I have to go, oh, never mind. I have this thing called a clothesline. I used to where I lived. And I would wash it and then hang it out in the clothesline to dry. So yes, this is made, now it said, it didn't give me much instructions, information about the coloring of it, but you know that when you melt plastic it becomes long and stringy. Where the white came from, I'm sorry, I don't know. But I thought that was pretty cool.
That's very cool.
So, okay, so history. Paul and Margaret Miller, how many of you knew them? Look at this.
Yeah.
See,
You're
that's
talking to
awesome.
old people.
But I knew it would be older, but I'm not old and I knew them. So, when I retired from teaching, they were still very active at the center. And so that, you know, I'm really pleased that I got to know them. I found out that they started just out in Wichita, this is before they got talking with Dylan's, and I was like, I can't imagine having a place outside to collect your recycling. You know, our Kansas wind, good grief. And so then they worked with Dillon's, and Dillon's had their recycle containers at the different stores.
Oh, yeah.
So why did Dillon's quit doing that?
Trash.
Partly
here and
because
there,
people
and
were
what's-
throwing trash in instead of separating the recycling, and partly because it became cost ineffective for Dillon's Corporation when they sold to Kroger, might I add.
When they got rid of all their services and
They-
then?
People were throwing glass
Gee,
around there too.
Jackie.
Yeah, so they were misusing that.
Yeah, misusing it.
And so that's why they had to pull that program. So, how many of you been to the recycle center here in Wichita? So I need to work on a few. Okay, did you know we even had a recycle center? Okay, at least you knew that. 725 East Clark. It's a big metal warehouse that the city owns, and I don't even know if we're still leasing it for $1 a year, or if they finally just, let us have it. It's right next to the railroad tracks, and it's 1 block south of Mount Vernon, so kind of in between Mount Vernon and Pawnee is the other big street. So we are open Tuesdays and Thursday afternoons from 1 to 4, and Saturdays are 9 to 3. And you bring your recycling to us, and you do not get paid for it, and you do not drop it off and let us take it, okay? Please don't do that to us. We don't have enough help. Sean is now the manager. Roger Lyon retired, and so Sean is the manager, and then we have Adam as our assistant manager. And it's wonderful because Adam speaks Spanish, he's Hispanic, and so it really is neat to see that connection with our Hispanic people. And then we have different ones of us that volunteer. And then, as I say, and you saw in the flyer that I taught at Calden, which is down in Plainview, and it was a science, and and I didn't even know about the recycle center. And then I got asked by Roger, he was the manager then, somebody that I taught with, she knew Roger, and they were needing to find somebody because the girl who was education director needed a paying job. And so they interviewed me, and I got the job. So I'm the one who gives the tours when we are not open to the public, because it's not fair to our customers or the people I'm trying to give the tour to. We are not open at all on a Monday, so that would mean any other morning or afternoon. And so, yes, I can show you my calendar. Guess what I have? I still have tours. Like Latchkey, I'm going to have 60 kids coming up next month. Yeah, which is pretty much the limit space-wise in my classroom, and taking them around to see all the different things, what we can and can't take. So, things, and you are welcome. You're welcome to this flyer and this one. So, what's recyclable? So, plastics, we can take number one, bottles and jar plastics. So your clamshell that your strawberries and blueberries come in, those are number ones. We can't take them. And people sometimes, why not? They're number one. Guys, I don't make the rules. Oh. It's our buyers, They only want the number one, transparent. So when somebody, in this case, Saturday, it was 2 brown plastic beer bottles. We can't take brown. That's not transparent. We've never taken the brown bottles unless they were glass. So ever since I've been there, we've never taken the brown. They have to be transparent. Okay, now this is a change. So our cloudy milk jugs, okay, they are, last I knew, our best-selling item right now. And our buyers will give us more money if we will take the lids off of those. And so when you do, they'll hopefully encourage you to rinse it out first.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have a container sitting over by the cloudy bottles for you to put. So you've got to look on them until you do it enough that you know, oh, Taco Shop, no, can't take those. McDonald's, yes, those are fives. So then you put them there. It's the same with your frozen dinners. Some of those plastic trays are ones, and some of them are fives. And then plastic bags, yes, anything if it stretches, we can take, okay? Magazines, shiny and glossy all the way through. So, is a phone book glossy all the way through? No. Yes, it's glossy on the outside, but it's not on the inside. So that's going to go with mixed paper. I wrote a sign where it says magazines, no phone books. We still get some.
People still get.
So then
They take their time to do it and then they don't have a hard time.
Then we have newspapers. Okay, newspapers. What is it? AAA one is also considered newspaper. And then you have some of that. Pardon?
AAA doesn't do the books anymore. You're talking about the books? Yeah, they don't do them anymore.
No, not the newspaper forms.
Oh, the newspaper. Okay.
Yeah, not the books. And then we've got some of the packing paper that's off-white.
Mm-hmm.
That can go with newspaper.
Oh,
Okay? The brown packing paper goes with cardboard, corrugated cardboard. Okay? as do brown paper sacks. Also go with the corrugated cardboard. But they're not. I said, I know, guys, I don't make the rules. And then another thing that has changed a little bit is your Amazon bags, the brown bags. We get so many of those. Well, if you tear them, some of them have a white cotton material in it, and that means it needs to go with mixed paper. Some of them you tear and it doesn't have that in there. But what I do to try to help make it easier for everybody, just if it's an Amazon bag, just put it with mixed paper, okay? And mixed paper is the machine that is open when we're open to the public. That's the belt that's running, and that's usually where I'm at. And I have taught so many people about your milk jugs, the carton milk jugs. Yes, we can take them, but you need to not only take the lid off, but tear out that plastic piece as well. And our president, Beth, that we're allowed a certain contamination. I said, you don't know how many of these we get. And see, that's the teacher in me. If I can teach people, then that's one less thing, and it makes our materials pure. So like have you noticed on the Pringles cans, they used to have that metal bottom, and now there's a lot of them that have a paper bottom. So I'm constantly having to look at the Pringles to see, oh, it's a paper, okay, it can go. No, this one's metal, okay, we've got to cut the bottom off. So see, that's a change with the Pringles. And then there's other like your power drinks that are in the paper, they have that plastic lid, so you need to pull those off too. So this is, stretchable, okay. This is a change. It probably happened over 2 years ago. We used to have a container for the kitty cat cans and the aluminum foil and aluminum pans. And then we had a place for your tin cans, your soup and your tuna cans and bean. And then our buyers said, you know what, no, we don't want aluminum foil anymore, and we don't want those aluminum pans. Now, if you have an aluminum pan, the guys are now telling me we can put it in the big scrap metal bin behind the building.
Oh, that makes sense.
And so, and now you mix the kitty cat cans in with your other tin cans. Well, this is where I had to change my lesson because we also have the pop cans, right? So the teacher and me, I hold up a pop can and a tin can. Which one is the magnet going to stick to? And I have the kids point to the one, and then I say, do you think I'm going to tell you the answer? No. I said, that's correct. This thing is, and I have a big magnet hanging there. And so I put it on to see, But now I have to include the kitty cat can because it's in there with the tin cans. And I go, look, it doesn't stick. And I said, but no, do not put it in with your aluminum, the pop cans. It's a different kind of aluminum, okay? And then we have people, because if you want, you can pull the tabs, save them for the Ronald McDonald House. And sometimes we'll have people that'll say, oh, here, Beth, I brought you. And they have pulled all the tabs off the soup, off their, the kitty cans. I'm going, guys, no, just leave those on. We can't add, mix those in with the pop can, soda can lids. So, anyway, okay. Then let's see. We have behind the building a great big dumpster for your larger scrap metal. And so you can put it there. They do not want wires, fencing, because that can jam up the equipment. So, but yes, broken down lawnmower, dishwasher, I mean, yeah. Appliances, you know,
Does that help fund the center?
it's outside the main,
No.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah,
help
it's
fund the
fun.
center? Does that help fund the center?
Does it help with
Yeah.
funding?
yeah, it does.
Good.
Yeah, so, okay, so, and speaking of funding, and I know you want to know this, so we have a category, so mixed paper, but then we have another one for office paper, and another container for ledger. And when I tell people, well, why are you pulling that out? I said, well, because we get more money for it. I see it as it goes up the belt. And so more people are learning. Office paper is black and white. It would be your notebook paper, because that's not a strong quality paper. And if it has a little bits of color, then you can put it in office. A good example for us older people, the Medicaid books that we get every year, tear the front and back off, put that in mixed paper, and the rest of it you can go in office. Okay? Now, ledger is strictly black and white, like this. This would be ledger paper. Okay? And so today, we have a school that uses our church, and their school year is ending, and so I brought home probably 20 different, sorry, I'm not Catholic, so some kind of program, readings and whatnot, and it was like newspaper print, so I tore the front and back off. They're now all ready to go in newspaper, and the front and back will go in mixed paper. And then they also gave me a whole bunch of other papers, so I was going through it for the office and the ledger. And when I tell people we can get more money for the ledger, then they are more willing to do that. Okay, now I know you're going to want to know how much we're making, and that is a part, since when COVID hit, we used to have monthly board meetings, but when COVID hit, that ended and it hasn't restarted. So I don't know. I did talk with Mike a little bit about this meeting tonight, what I should say. As I said, the last I knew, the cloudy milk jugs are probably our best money making right now. You will also, if you come to the center, go, oh my gosh, you just got all these stacks of stuff. Mike said it's really ebbs and flows. He said we can get, let's say, $150 for a truckload of some product. And a month later, $15 a ton. You know, so then of course, oops, we'll try to hang on to it, hoping that the price will go back up. So it's kind of, now one of the things that has happened that's helped us, Kroger is now bringing big semi-trucks when we're not open to the public, and bringing in plastics, plastic bagging with also pill bottles mixed in, a whole bunch of mixture of stuff, and so run that up the belt and, you know, sort that all out, and so that is actually helping us financially as well.
So it goes to you guys, for the Zacks. I don't know that.
Yeah, yeah, so, and then there was a period of, the cardboard bales were outside in the weather, outside for I don't know how long before, what's going on, why is it still here, you know? But it finally went away. Somebody just peeked in. Okay. As I say, that's something new. They do pay, it's usually younger people to help with that when we're not open to the public. I'm done for the day. You know, if it's there after I've been there all day. No, Beth is done. So I really haven't done that. I can't honestly tell you, where everything goes, but guess what? I have a flyer, so I'll let you have these to see. Like, I know our glass goes to Hutch, yeah. And then in this flyer, it'll say, International Paper. Well, International Paper closed, and I forget the name of the company that bought it, anybody remember Mid-Kansas something? It's not called International Paper anymore, but we still can work
Same
with.
location?
Pardon?
Is it the same location?
Yes, yes, the
Something
same,
like that.
yeah, the same
They
place.
didn't just close it down, is I think what we're asking.
Yeah. And then,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Go
here.
first.
Oh, yeah.
It's really fun.
We don't like hot fries.
There are so many organizations that need volunteers.
and so yes, I got some of those. And I understand, it isn't for everybody. Yes, I'm very, very, obviously, since I've been doing it for
A year or two.
years. That we also, like, if students need hours, community service hours for graduation or some class, I work with them. I had a group of students from Tri-City down in Hayesville, and they had a gal who drove them in, and I would have simple sorting things so they weren't interacting with customers, because, not everybody is comfortable with that, and I wasn't going to have them do that. So they were back in my classroom, and I'd show them what to do, and then, go ahead and have at it, and I'd go back and check on them. I went to their awards assembly Friday. And we made a good connection, and so that'll hopefully help, start again this next fall. So, as I say, and then we have court-ordered people as well. And so they come, and Sean, the manager, is the one who deals with that. I'm the kind, like, this was just Saturday too, there was 3 of us standing there at the cardboard. It was a period when we had a little, because it'll ebb and flow, we'll get a big bunch of cardboard and then, okay guys, no. I don't want you just standing here doing nothing. Come on, I'll show you what else. There's always, and that's just the way I am. I want you to earn that signature that you did actually do the work. You're not outside for 30 minutes on a smoke break.
Well, at least the elementary school kids, you don't have to worry about
that. I did have that guy, he had one, he wasn't lit on Saturday, but he had a cigarette in his mouth, and I went over to him, I said, no.
This is a recycle center.
Yeah, let's blow it
This is
up.
a recycling
Yeah.
center, we have paper here, why would you want to have a cigarette in your mouth?
So, it's, the other, if you're interested in a bookmark, and guess what saying is on the back? The same one that you had for the flyer. You always feel better when you leave the recycle center. And that sign is posted as you drive out the gate. So if you want a bookmark, I have a few, and this, for we love our volunteers, and you see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, this was from the Wichita Eagle back in April of '09. okay? But I was just like, oh my goodness, you know, that just shows you how long the different things last. So,
The disposable diapers blew my mind when I saw that. I was like, yeah.
so I used regular, real diapers for my boys.
I did at home, but if we were
I know
out,
if you went on vacation, then of course, no. Or I can remember once, you know, changing in the airport, you know, one of my sons,
yep.
diaper. But, all right, so financially, to speak a little bit more like, all right, we had, what are our expenses? Well, the 2 paid employees, and then I said, I think, well, actually, I should be honest, I actually do get paid this much. And I will document the miles to come here and go back, and I do once a year get reimbursed for the mileage. Yeah.
Tell them to kick it up more than 52 cents a mile, given that I just passed gas for $4.69 a gallon. On the way back from Lawrence yesterday, regular gas.
But, all right, there's that. Of course, there's electricity. There's the water. Yes, we have to pay for trash. And that was something else I was telling. My husband passed 5 years ago, and my boys needed, Mom, you need to downsize and go someplace. I said, okay. So for those of you who are familiar with Wichita, I live at Prairie Homestead now, a retirement community. I am in an outdoor, independent unit. I don't go in for lunch. I'm at the center, what do you mean? But I don't do any of that. Our trash service is part of our rent, and I have 1 paper sack, maybe even half a sack, literally each week. So I bring trash home from the center to help with, why not? So I do that. I also got recycling started at Prairie Homestead. Yeah. So it's because I was devastated with all the cardboard. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
And so they gave me a room, and I had 2 shelves with no, and I still got some back. And then containers for the different items. And now they have just recently shut that whole wing off, and they're remodeling it and gonna turn them into individual units again. So I asked our director, okay, so what's happening to recycling? So I'm now in the boiler room. But it's a big room, and I got my sign out so the residents can, they walk down the hall, doors shut. Well, which one? So now they can see which is the recycle one. And I have a very wonderful gal who's helping me now, and she goes, Beth, I said, I can't believe how much you're doing. I can't believe how much you're doing, so I want to help make it easier on you. So I did it on Tuesday mornings and Thursday mornings, and then I do get it Friday afternoon because I'm back there on Saturday. And my son is the one from Colorado is coming to see me, and I know I'm not supposed to go to the center, but I told him, honey, we're going to have to go to the center because I'm going to have to get rid of this. I know, Mom, but I won't be able to stay and help because he's in town. But so yeah, besides church, I've got at Prairie Homestead, just trying to help make a difference in this world.
Yeah.
So, questions of me?
we don't live in Wichita, we
Uh-huh.
live in Newton, and we have recycled, the Nancy brother, they have a container for us to, every week, they come and pick it up.
everything.
Yeah, and it's all mixed together, isn't it?
Yeah,
So they must go somewhere to.
Yes. And that's a good point. Even the Wichita recycle companies, theirs does not come to us. Okay, everything that you see is what people bring to us. I've tried, and I'm not sure which bar it is, but we have a glass bin outside. We don't leave it outside when we're not open. Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah.
And so every week he pulls up his truck and I hear this, and he's getting all, the beer and wine, empty beer and wine bottles, and giving them to us instead of just throwing them in the trash. Yes, I wish I could get more of those kinds of places. I'm sorry, we don't have the manpower to come get it, but you could, have somebody from your restaurant or whatever, bring it to us. So it is, it's everything is what people bring to us. And I know El Dorado has had problems with recycling, and Wellington and,
Go on.
well, I'm just, closing down, and what do we do with ours? And we have, there's people that are passionate about it like I am, and so, okay, but now the gasoline is also I got it, guys, it's,
Yeah.
but
It's hard.
it is, it's,
So, how much waste is generated in Wichita and how much material ends up at the recycling center? I know you are always busy. I think you are saying you could take a little bit more if more companies more bar owners would bring all the bottles and so on. How much is being recycled right now? Is it 1%, 10%, 50%? Do you have any idea?
I don't.
I think the last I read over was, and it's been at least 4 or 5 years ago now, it was 11% in the city. That doesn't count Sevier County.
See, my recycling's always fuller than my trash.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
So I had a question kind of about the regulation regarding this, because you mentioned like the numbering system that drives. So I was just wondering, what drives like the numbering system? Is it like a government standard? Is it driven by business, either the selling business or the business is buying the plastics? Like, where does the regulation come from?
The regulation comes from the people who are buying ours, like I told you about the cloudy milk jugs. See, that was coming from the company that was buying that. Hey, we're gonna give you more money if you will have the lids off. As I say, I'm the purist in the group, and so I teach people about the carton milk jugs and taking those off, and like your salt containers, with that little metal, well, just take it out. And so, people are used to seeing me and, yes, look, Beth, I said, oh, thank you. That's, one less thing I have to do. So, yeah, I mean, if you're trying to sell something and it's too dirty or it's too, dirty, that's right. I showed this to So, this is not mine. This is one that somebody threw.
You can't try to eat the rest of that.
And see, this is the other thing, guys. I have gotten peanut butter jars, and I take the lid off, and I'm going, you're kidding me. I could easily make 2 more sandwiches. I don't. But I'm going, are you kidding me? You're coming to the recycle center and you're wasting that much peanut butter? And so you use your scraper, clean it out, and then you put it in your dishwasher. And I put it on the top rack, because one time I had one on the bottom and it kind of got deformed. I mean, it was fine, we could, you know, we can take deformed plastic, but it needs to be clean.
Yeah.
Okay, and it just blows me away that people,
But
because this one I pulled out.
you know, the curbside recycling all ends up at Stutzman Recycling Center instead, and they don't care if it's number 1 or number 5, or if it's dishwashed or this dirty. The guy there giving the tours, he says whatever, it ends up in the one pile, they can't separate it, they get so much of it that they can't do the quality recycling, so it just gets bundled into piles of plastic that get sold somewhere at a much lower cost, and they can't control it. So, you know, you bring it to Miller Recycling Center, wash it out, but you just put it into your recycling at home, your curbside recycling. I mean, you know, you have a conscience, you might still empty it out a bit better than that, but they really truly don't care.
Wow. Do you know what I think? And this is just an opinion of mine, because I called in right after China quit taking all of our plastic, as I said, we have nothing for plastic. So I finally got a hold of the right person when they found out that I wasn't a reporter. And they said, well, we don't know what we're going to do. It's just stacking up here. We have no clue. And I think this is my logic behind the whole thing. They're taking it all, but they're throwing those particular items away because they're scared that they're going to lose customer base based on the fact that there's dirty bottles and things like that in there that people would just quit doing it. So that's just a thought of mine. I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what I think.
On what you said, I've heard that a lot of times some of our recyclables that get sent to China specifically are just so dirty that they won't even take it.
Yeah, they're piling up on poor country islands where it overflows into the ocean.
Now we get those items plastic.
Yeah. Plastic islands.
So for those of us who do have curbside recycling, but also come to the center once in a while, what items are most inconvenient and we should put them into the curbside stuff? And what items do you really want at the center instead?
Yeah, what'll make money, yeah.
What makes you the most money, besides the hazy milk jugs?
You know, I don't know what the next, I'm sorry, because it ebbs and flows. I should have asked him, our board president, okay, is there an update on what's the most, I think we did pretty good with corrugated cardboard.
How about the cardboard that the 6 or 8 cans of sparkling water come in?
Yeah.
That's not corrugated.
No,
it's
that's
just-
the mixed paper.
That's the
category.
okay.
And another thing, the rings around your 6 8-pack, those plastic rings. What do you do with those?
Cut them up.
Always cut them up.
Protect the
Always cut them, because if they end up in the ocean, they're going to be swallowed or strangled.
Okay, so you've cut them, and then what do you do with them?
Oh, you have a good question. Even I can
That's a
answer that
good
question.
question.
You put them in a plastic bag.
Ah.
We take them at the recycle center.
Oh,
Very good.
interesting.
Yes.
Very
Yeah.
good.
And another thing, speaking of that, and I told you about the tours. So we take plastic bubble wrap, and I keep an eye on it, because when I find a big bubble wrap, I take it and put it back in my classroom, because then when I have a tour, and we come out, and I put a bunch of it into the machine, and I learned to always warn, because, you know, some kids are afraid. I mean, I had a teacher one day who took a student outside when we, because I said, I don't know how loud it's gonna be. It all depends on how much is in there already. But we do it, and it sounds, if I'm lucky, it sounds like fireworks going off. pop, 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 and the kids are like, they're just loving it. So as I say, I've got several tours coming up, and so I've actually got 2 grocery carts full wrapped ready for my tours. Yeah, this was, something fun for the kids. And also, speaking of that, I have schools will sometimes will bring their recycling with them. And I said, no, that's fine. And if you bring something that we can't take, it's a learning process. It's okay. So it's, and I am so thankful for my background in education and working with students, because it just makes a world of difference interacting with the students, and they also learn, excuse me, you're going to pay attention. You're not going to sit there. One day a child was on their phone. I don't mind if you have your phone, so when we go out, you take pictures, of the different, but while I'm giving of my time to talk to them, and even though the teacher's there, usually the teachers are really good though, because they'll kind of see me and they'll go over and talk to Johnny or whoever, get them. So, yeah, but I also am encouraged, because I've had teachers that will bring their students every year now. So and as I say, I will also go out I went out to Colvin, I guess it's been a year now, and it was weird, kind of different.
Yeah.
Went in to look at my room, which was now one of the art teachers' rooms, so. Yes.
I think education certainly has an impact, but given the recycling rate and the low voluntary participation, and given that personal household waste generation is only a tiny fraction of the total waste generated by industry, by all the pubs, but also all the other industry. Do you see a role for regulation? Should recycling be mandated more than it is to some degree? Should there be, ban the bag efforts to get fewer plastic bags that need to be recycled? Should there be regulations adopted, like in many other parts of the world, where recycling is being done at much, much higher rates than it is in the US?
At the risk of being booed out of the room, why all the other Western and industrialized countries, plus Japan, have a thing called a value-added tax? It's because there is corporate recycling that is part of the regulation of the waste stream. They have to. You pay more for the thing, but you're also covering the costs of getting rid of the bottle, the can, the cardboard, the whatever.
And another thing I might mention, especially since it's chicken laying season, we have a special container for your egg cartons, and then we have one for styrofoam and the plastic egg cartons in a different container. And we have people that will come in and open and stacked, not closed and stacked. And that many, because they have that many chickens and it's saving them so much money. And, that's great. And then what I tell them is, if they're regular customers that kind of come back, I said, a dozen eggs or more would be nice to give as a thank you to us, because we're not, charging you anything for those. And so, yes, we've gotten eggs from different farmers. And the other thing we have, and like I save Christmas card fronts for an art teacher friend of mine, the magnets. that were on the phone books, that's pretty much over now. But she would take the magnets and have her students make their real pretty, refrigerated magnets. And so if there's a project or something that you're looking for, magazines, for instance, we have a guy who makes the piñatas, and they get, a bunch of newspapers. So, yeah, that's fine. We do have a sign, we have moving boxes. We do have a sign hanging above that asks for $1 per box donation. We do not have a credit card machine, it's gotta be check or cash. And the other thing we do have is a library. And so when I'm ending the tour with the kids, before we go back in the classroom, do you have a library at your school? Yes? Do you get to keep your books forever? No? Well, guess what? You find a book, or, because right now we have a bunch, or two, you get to keep them. You get so excited, so, or you can bring them back and, get a different one. So, yeah, it's a real nice, I think, community sharing, but I did want to mention that, because if you're, needing some materials, we got them.
Are there cities in the U.S. that have mandatory recycling?
New York City, and it has to be
Philadelphia.
separated.
Philadelphia,
Yeah, and it has to be separated by type.
New York, and Philadelphia?
Yep,
Unless-
and there are penalties if you do not.
What's that?
They will actually penalize you if you do not.
Right, well, otherwise you have law.
And they have to go into the right container.
Has the legislature doing anything about regulation of plastics?
I was
What's the issue there? I hear about that. Legislation talking about plastics. That's failed, I think, for many, many years. Right?
Well, and then no one's mentioned,
Yeah, that's
Besides
over a
styrofoam.
million years, yeah.
do we take it? No.
Should you never use it?
Yes.
It's just,
Should you never put it in the microwave?
Oh, just the chemicals that come on.
No kidding.
No.
How many cups, styrofoam cups of coffee, do you think the average over-the-road trucker drinks heated up out of a microwave or out of a hot pot of coffee with all those chemicals? No wonder they all have bladder cancer, prostate cancer, you name it.
Talking to the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people don't know anything about this, they don't.
That's the bottom line. Yeah.
yes.
I was curious, since you mentioned at least from the city, is the recycling center run by like a private public partnership, or is it run by the city directly?
Is ours run, or is that you're asking?
Yeah, like what's like the organization that runs the recycling
They're
center?
not for profit.
So we're a nonprofit, and so we have a board president, and as I said, we have different members that are on our board, but.
That has gotten a lot smaller, hasn't it?
To follow up on that, has the city of Wichita ever provided you any grant funding, ever helped advertise that you exist, ever collaborated with you in any fashion whatsoever?
That's the building.
They give them housing. That's a big deal.
And I forgot to mention, the expenses, water, electricity, forklift and propane gas, the 12-foot long wires. And I have the students, I said they're 50 cents for one. We have 6 around each bale. So do the math, how much is that? We have to pull that $3 off of our profit for the wire. So anyway, our forklift died, and we had, we have to have one. And so we were renting one for a few days, and Adam, bless his heart, he got it fixed for us. So when I was there Saturday, we were using our old forklift. So we did, how long has it been? A couple years ago, we had a fundraising drive. We were kind of low. And so we had the arrow on the wall posted and the different height. When we reached this this,
Yeah. Yeah.
and, yeah, because it was, well, it was probably during COVID and everything. It was just, you know, a really difficult time. So, I had a student say, well, Miss Beth, you need to do that again. You know, you need to have that chart going and we need to have.
Hey.
Yeah, it's lots Miss Beth, yeah, Miss Beth for that. Because I thought, I'm not gonna have to call me Mrs. McDonald.
No.
But I also, you know,
You need some level between you.
so I miss that today.
That's us.
So, anyway, as I said, please come up, check the articles. I've got, and help yourself to the flyers if you want them. Obviously, I don't want you to take them if you're not going to use them. But,
I have one question for you.
yes.
Are you still going out to the zoo or that was allowed after?
Okay.
Are you still going out to the zoo on
Earth
Earth
Day.
Day?
Yes, yes. And this, I was there, and then I've always gone to Earhart for on Earth Day.
Uh-huh.
This year, I got contacted, and I said, yep. And then she said, well, I'm sorry, Beth, we're not gonna need you.
What?
And I went, okay, I don't have to have every slot filled. It's okay, you know? She never got back with me on it. Yeah, I would, well. So our retired teachers are there every year. I've never been able to help them because I've already had my own station. And so I helped them with making buttons. And they got to pick out their picture from the different magazines. And so there's a new principal there, and I did talk with him and just, you know, letting him know, you're the environmental school.
Yeah, the magnet school.
Yeah, it's environmental magnet school, and what? And so, yeah, that really kind of hurt. But, yeah, I'm at the zoo.
So you're at the zoo. So, you know, Ken and I used to go out there with you.
Right.
Yeah, so I want Sierra Club to be out there next year. So give us a reminder. I'll let them know.
Yeah.
Because we had, you know, Ken was always the guy that gave them the information. I was always the one that did the silly skits and stuff for the kids.
I have a bottle bale. It's a smaller one, making it easier to transport out to the zoo. And so I have the kids will come over and I'll go, okay, how many bottles are in that?
It's like,
And
yes.
I laugh because you guys, you know, because 100, I think there's a few more than that. And the same thing will happen with the weight. I'll say, okay, now how much does it weigh? You know, it just, and I'll do that at the center too, because you'll see a bale of something come out of the machine, and then the kids will guess, and then it's taken back to the scale, and some of their guesses, 60 pounds. I said, okay, guys, I can pick up 60 pounds. Do you think I can pick up that bale? But yeah, it's.
When I brought the bottles out, that was kind of bad, because we were at the zoo, I didn't think about it, I had this whole thing. So I had this whole string of bottles, because I would ask how many water bottles
Per capita per year.
per person does they use in the United States. And that string went from about where that screen is to almost the end of the spread. And then we would do like a wave, and we'd go, bring your back to the grocery store, get your plastic, but at
Yeah.
the zoo, there's animals there, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And I had the plastic boy, plastic girl.
And this is another thing, forgive me, that I make sure I always present to the group, because how many times can I refill this?
Forever.
A long time.
A long time.
If you want.
Zero, if you don't want it to reach into
Okay.
water.
So what I teach people, and I tell the students, if your parent isn't with you, make sure if you're 5 bottled water, that you go home and tell mom and dad this. I tell people 3 or 4 times and then you're gonna recycle it. Because this is a thin plastic and over time, your spit and your saliva will wear it down. Will you see that it's wearing down?
Probably.
Smell it? Taste it? Nope. Okay.
The microplastics.
So, because of this, and then I talk about, let's pretend it's brand new, you took a sip out of it, you left it in your car, it's summertime, you went into the movies, 2 hours later you come out to get a drink and it's hot. What do I do with it?
Throw it out.
Yeah,
And you do
Dump the
not,
water and recycle it.
that's exactly what
I
it
was
is.
gonna say, you do not just dump the water on the sidewalk or down the sink. You put it on the grass, your plants, and you recycle it. Because it was heated. And because of that lesson with the kids, I had a mom said, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go home and tell my husband, we are not storing water bottles in our garage anymore over the summer.
Well, they get stored in a hot warehouse and they get stored in the front of the centers. And I told them that, when you're drinking out of a water bottle, you're drinking petroleum.
Yeah.
Because those are bottles made out of petroleum.
Yep.
More than likely, anyway.
Yeah. So see, those are the kinds of educating that as I said, I didn't do my whole lesson with you guys, because.
Thank you so much.
I